So which ski passes offer the best value?
This is 150 Days of Winter. You get this view. It's been an incredible day. Thank you all, for everybody.
Why do I almost regret saying what I've just said? It's like I've just realised that I've stuck a massive stick into a wasp's nest. Anyway, the statement alone is as contentious as this video, and I will get into this later. Basically, it is a list of the cost of a lift pass compared to the number of kilometres serviced by that lift pass, which immediately people are going, well, you know, that doesn't, yeah, I know. There are a lot of variables and it's hugely contentious. That is the best metric you have to making a list of some sort, okay? I can't do it from the quality of the lifts or the speed of the lifts or anything like this. So anyway, let's just talk about the rules, okay, quickly, so I can get along through this list. You can finish viewing it and we can all go home. To avoid duplication, ski resorts that are in larger ski areas have been left out. So for instance, Courchevel is inside the Three Valleys, and although Courchevel sells the Courchevel Valley Pass, I'm only going to be talking about the Three Valley Pass. Otherwise you have to talk about the Courchevel Valley Pass, the Mirabel, and of course you add this to all the different resorts that I'm looking at, and we're just like this, okay? And to the best of my ability, I think about 95% of these are next year's lift pass prices, okay? There are a few little resorts that haven't updated their prices yet. I'm sorry, I've got to make a video. I can't wait forever, okay? So why don't we just dive in? So kicking us off this list, we have St. Moritz in Switzerland, which has a grand total of 160 kilometers of piste. A 6-day pass will cost you about 376 Swiss francs, which is about 393 euros, and that comes out to about 2 euros and 46 cents per kilometer. We then move on to France, or to San Bernardino, which includes La Tuile in Italy and La Rosière in France. And of course, a 6-day pass will cost you 348 euros. That encompasses 143 kilometers of pistes, which comes to 2 euros and 43 cents. Staying in France, we of course move to Chamonix, which of course has, and of course this doesn't include the Vallée Blanche, has 150 kilometers of pistes. And a six-day pass will cost you about 300 euros, which brings out at a nice round number of 2 euros per kilometer. And for our next one, which is Andermatt, which of course Andermatt includes Andermatt, Cédron and Disentis. They have about in total 185 kilometers of pistes. 327 Swiss francs, which is about 342 euros, and that comes to 1 euro 85 cents. I will have, of course, my first addendum to this, of course, this is, I think, the only European pass which you can buy on an Epic Ski Pass for our American viewers. But again, I'm not going to get into the Epic Ski Pass because that just makes everything way more complicated. We're staying in Switzerland, of course, to Davos Cloisters, and they have 251 kilometers of piste, which 379 Swiss francs will get you a 6-day pass, and that comes down to 396 euros, and that's about 1 euro and 58 cents. Sticking in Switzerland, we have Stade, which again has 220 kilometers of piste, and that'll cost you about 333 Swiss francs, which is about 348 euros, which again comes out tying with Davos at 1 euro 58 cents. We have the Arlberg Ski Pass, which of course encompasses St. Anton, Lech, Zur, Stuben, St. Christoph, etc. 302 kilometers of piste and a grand total of 401 euros for a 6-day pass, which again comes out at €1.33 per kilometre. Again in France we have Espace Killy, which encompasses Tignes and Val d'Isère. They have 300 kilometres of piste, nice round number. €378 for a 6-day pass, which again gives you a number of €1.26. So then we have the Espace Diamant, which includes areas like Prades-sur-Arly, Flumé, Outlus and Les Sizes. This, of course, encompasses 192 kilometres, and a 6-day pass is €238, which brings an average of €1.24 per kilometre. Okay, so going up to Alpe d'Huez. Alpe d'Huez have 250 kilometres of piste, €310 for a 6-day pass, which again comes out at €1.24. To Les Deux Alpes. Les Deux Alpes has 227 kilometres of piste, €279 for a 6-day pass, which again comes out at €1.23. Les Deux Alpes, Alpe d'Huez and Le Grave are covered by, for Cisnes at least, by a Supernova pass. I haven't included that in here because I believe it's only available for the entire season as opposed to just 6 days. Okay, so we're back to Switzerland, this time to Zermatt, which Zermatt also includes Chavinia. They have about 360 kilometres of piste there, which again is 406 Swiss francs, which comes to €424, and again €1.18 per kilometre. Then we're in Switzerland again for Verbier in the Four Valleys, which of course includes Les Zumaz and Bruzon. They have 410 kilometres of piste, 389 Swiss francs, which comes to about €406, and that they sneak under the €1 barrier, and it's 99 cents per kilometre. Back to France, to Paradis Ski, which includes Les Arcs and Le Plan, which combined have 425 kilometres of piste. Their 6-day pass is, I think, €330. And again, that comes out at about 78 cents per kilometre. Then we move up to the Ötztal Super Ski Pass, and this is where it gets a teeny tiny bit contentious because it includes Soldern, Gurgel, Vent, and Hoxentai, excuse me for butchering that one. In total, this is about 600 kilometres of piste, about €387, and that comes to about 65 cents per kilometre. I say it's contentious because, of course, with these areas, they're not completely skiable. Okay, Three Valleys is completely skiable. You can go from one end to the other. Some of these ones here, even though it says 600 kilometres, you can't ski all 600 kilometres without needing a bus or a car or transport, basically. Okay, that's why I just find I have to put them in there for obvious reasons. However, I just find it messes up the list a bit. And of course, we have an even more of a mess of the Zillertal Ski Pass, which of course includes Fugen, Zell, Marhofen, Tux, etc., all that region there. And that is 544 kilometres, which is €349. And of course, that brings us to a grand total of 64 cents per kilometre. So we're reaching the top now, and we have the Three Valleys, my hometown, so to speak. Not in any way that I am biased. And anyway, the Three Valleys says it has 600 kilometres of of piste. I think actually it has about 490 with about 120 kilometres of cross country. Anyway, they're adding the cross country, so we're adding the cross country. €360 for a 6-day pass, which again brings it out to 60 cents per kilometre. Which leads us to the Milky Way, which of course includes Salzidou, Sestriere, Montgenèvre, and loads of other resorts. 400 kilometres of piste, €223 for a 6-day pass, and that comes out to 56 cents per kilometre. We're back to France for the Port du Soleil. Port du Soleil has 12 ski areas, which include things like Champery, Chantelle, Voriaz, Morzine, etc. They measure that as 600 kilometres of piste and €292 for a 6-day pass, which comes to 49 cents per kilometre. And right at the top of the list, we have the Dolomiti Super Ski Pass, which is probably the most contentious one because that includes over 12 ski areas, which they are definitely not linked together at all. So saying that there are 1,200 kilometres which link places like Cortina d'Ampezzo, Val Gardena, among the more well-known ones, and many other small resorts. However, you can buy a 6-day pass, which will basically cover all of those, of €384. And again, that comes to a grand total of 32 cents per kilometre. And now everybody is really annoyed. You can all leave your comments down below. Because yes, I know. Why haven't I listed anything from Bulgaria or Japan or America even? Well, the first two, things like Bulgaria have very small ski resorts. They're like 55 kilometers of piste in Bulgaria. Same with Japan. And so, of course, as soon as you do that with the cost of a lift pass, all of a sudden it looks very expensive. Although generally everything else in Bulgaria is dirt cheap and everything like that. However, this is why I said it's contentious. So comments down below. If you like this list, you know what to do. Click that old subscribe button, click the like button, and I will see you all in the next video. Ciao.